Hey yo, it's your man Shut Up Cole here for the Hentations 75th episode, live Juneteenth special with my illustrious bros.
Hey man, it's good to be here, yo.
This man took my talking space. We get to a new location. He decided I want to talk second now. I don't want to be third mic. I want to be second now.
You get too cute.
I know, I'm sorry. It's the audience out here. You know, I'm feeling myself right
Who
now.
the hell are y'all, man?
Yeah, it's your man Zon Really DW out here.
It's your boy Malik, aka They Be Geekin' Leak.
And it's your boy Darian, aka Clark Kent, and we are back for a very special occasion. This is our first live event, ladies and gentlemen. So give a hand clap for that, please, if you please. Thank you.
Beautiful crowd. Thank you for coming out and thank you for having us here. We are the Hentations, just four bros, lifelong friends, and you know we're just four distinguished gentlemen, and we decided to make a podcast out of it. So here we go.
Here we go.
How's everybody feeling tonight here for Juneteenth?
Hey man, I'm feeling great, man. The energy is great. Look at this, all my people together, man. All my family, man. This is great, man.
Yeah, man, I'm loving it, man. It's just great to be surrounded by so many, like, happy, like, we seeing a lot of different people out here. Like, I don't know if it's all DC or Maryland, but, like, people from all around. And just great to be surrounded by love and people just having a good time, for real.
It's the Juneteenth episode. It's a Game 7 tonight. So we about to come out here. We about to just drop 40 on their heads. We about to just put it up like a podcast. That's how we about to do it. We about to go out here and kill it. It's Game 7. It's our time.
All right, so yeah, a little bit about ourselves. We're Hentations. We've been lifelong friends. I'm Shut Up Cole. This is Dante, Malik, Darian. We've been doing this podcast for about 3 years now. Just start from our humble beginnings, and we've gotten better topics, and now we have a good episode. We're gonna talk about Juneteenth. Hell yeah, we're gonna talk about Juneteenth for you tonight. And first, we're gonna get started with our favorite segment. We call this a Make a Toast segment. So what we're gonna do is we all gonna pick somebody that in the last couple weeks has really been doing their thing, and we're gonna call them out here, whether they're famous, whether they're local, whatever. We're all gonna just give them the love and recognition they need. And if anybody out there wants to give a toast, come up to the stage. We'll get you on there. So, Dante, you want to do your bit?
Oh yeah, we ready?
Y'all just picked a new place. Y'all just do every wrinkle in this bad boy. He won't even sing like Gerald Levert now.
All right, who wants to give the toast first?
Yo, first and foremost, we definitely got to start this off by giving a special toast to the Todd Place Juneteenth Expo. We definitely got to shout them out. Thank you for having us here today. We definitely appreciate this event.
Clap it up.
Salute Cherry and Terry. Appreciate y'all.
Absolutely.
Thank y'all.
Shout out to
Todd
them.
Place. Thank you.
And shout out to every vendor and everybody that's out here right now sharing whatever they have, just to make sure we don't leave nobody out. But definitely want to start that off first and foremost.
Yep. So, all right, I'll give my toast first. Go ahead. All right, I'm gonna give my toast to Naomi Osaka, the tennis player, probably the best player in the world. So, I want to give my toast to her. Oh, yeah, definitely clap.
Clap it up.
Shout out to Noah.
Clap it up. Yes.
Clap it up. So I'm gonna give my toast to her because she's doing what we all wish we could do. We could just prioritize mental health over work. So Naomi Osaka is probably one of the best tennis players in the world, and recently she decided to drop out of the French Open because she was going through mental health issues, and I'm somebody really mental health is very important to me, so I salute her. But she also decided to bypass Wimbledon, which is another Grand Slam important tennis tournament, and honestly, I admire it. That's 2 big checks, and when you make that much money, you do what you want when you're popping. So shout out to Naomi Osaka.
Facts.
Yes, sir.
I'm a big mental health advocate, and that's something I wish I could do. Walk up to my boss and be like, you know what, it doesn't work for me today, boss. So
I'm not feeling it today.
I'm not inputting anything in these Excel docs today.
Yeah, so who wants to give their toast back?
I got that. Hey, yo, a special shout out to Carmelo Anthony. I want my toast to go out to him today.
Oh my gosh, you've been real toxic today.
Yeah, I am. You're right. Toxic energy. Big toxic energy. Yo, shout out to Carmelo because we don't know what happened. All we know is his wife maybe filed for divorce from him. We don't know if this extra baby and all this other stuff is true. Oh, dang, God don't even want me to say that. You hear the mic?
I said, you talking about Carmelo, it's not raining.
I'm about to say I'm gonna get struck by lightning. Yeah, but shout out to him because he had a bounce back year. The league respects him again, and this is just a minor setback for a major comeback. Shout out to him. Shout out to those London-born twins. Shout out to that sad woman. Shout out to everything that we don't know right now and that we're just like completely saying could be the case. Right. I'm Mr. Shade Room clearly, so
Thank you for bigging up Black Love with your toast there. I appreciate it.
Yeah, Black Love. That's how I was talking. I thought it was self-love more so. Like he cared about himself more than the relationship.
Yeah,
allegedly.
Okay.
Sprinkle that in there.
Okay, I'm gonna go next, y'all. My toast is gonna go out to the food writer who was kind of the main cast member on High on the Hog, which is the full name is called How African American Cuisine Transformed America. And I think it's just great timing for that doc specifically. One thing to know me is to know I love food, and so any doc with food like was right up my alley. So I was tuned in. You get a good history of how a lot of, like, even dating back to slavery, even dating back to back when in Africa, like you had these special dishes that made their way over, and different practices and customs. Like I even found out like the person who popularized mac and cheese in the U.S. was a black man. So who knew that? Mac and cheese is one of my favorite foods. So I was touched for sure. So definitely shout out to that. If you haven't checked out that documentary, it's called High on the Hog. Learn about good food. Learn how black love was put into it. Learn the history. Like you can't have the black culture without the black food as well. So shout out to that.
Shout out to soul food.
Big Mama, you're on. I just had to say that. I'm sorry.
Shout out to Big Mama.
You're on. Big Mama. All right, man. So for my toast, I'm gonna give mine to Opal Lee. She's actually one of the reasons why we're here for Juneteenth. Black People Emancipation Day. You know, so she pushed for that. If you're not familiar with Opal Lee, she's from Galveston, Texas, where the start of Juneteenth was. And you know, she continued to push for equality for Black folk. And you know, that's exactly what we're here for, and exactly what's going to be our next topic, right?
Definitely is. You know, Malik always got these like over the head toasts. Like he shouted out the woman that helped out with the reparations that wanted reparations from Tulsa.
Hey, man,
I'm about to say I can't remember
I was
her name.
going to be a history major, but then you know they don't.
But you wanted to make money. I got it.
Yeah,
Okay, cool.
You know.
So,
But it's hard out here. Nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with history. That's my minor, technically speaking. It's important.
all right, so here we are here for Juneteenth. This is a wonderful, wonderful occasion. I mean, if you didn't know, Juneteenth is now a federal holiday.
Definitely.
Big time.
So,
Shout out to all my government workers. I'm sure y'all were happy yesterday being on.
Shout out to all the private companies that already recognized it prior to.
I'm about to say
That was my company.
yeah, so my company, like literally my boss, we had a meeting on Thursday, and he was like, yeah, so
He called in all the black employees. He just had everybody gather around the table. Aaron and John, the three of you, we're gonna have a power.
I just want to start by saying I support you guys.
You put
He
up a
didn't say
black power
you did
fist and
that.
start off the whole event.
my boss is a Fox News. My boss is a Fox News Republican, 60-year-old man. He didn't know what the hell
You ain't
Juneteenth
gotta
was.
say all that. We
Like,
put the stories.
hey, what it is, what it is.
And he drink Guinness. Oh no, that's your
Xbox, cool. All right, I don't work for them no more. So knock yourself out. Yeah, this is
Anyway,
great.
my boss,
Continue, Aaron.
my boss was clearly confused. He didn't know what the hell Juneteenth was, and he clearly was like, "Oh yes, I guess we have to let people be off now." And I was like, "Listen, I'm excited for it." And I made a joke on the call, and everybody got quiet after it. And I was like, "Listen,
Wait, what was your joke?
I've been talking to you guys about Juneteenth for 4 years now, and I think we've been saying that they would never make this a federal holiday, but they have. So, hey, shit, I was pretty excited. About
Yeah,
it.
the choice was reparations or federal holiday. I know which one's easier.
Which one's
Facts.
cheaper was the federal
One's
holiday.
cheaper,
Yeah.
for sure. I mean, not gonna be reparations. We'll put that on the docket next year. I hope.
Maybe.
Maybe.
We're getting a lot of momentum though. We might. Who knows? Who knows?
Oh, hell
A
no.
whopping
Wishful thinking. Wishful thinking.
And what else do you get? A mule?
40 acres and a mule.
40 acres and a mule?
So where are we all
next.
gonna
40
go?
acres
Move to
next.
Texas? Because that's the only place you can get 40 acres, and it's all flooded land.
I'm going to
It's like-
Atlanta. I don't know what you're talking
Shout
about.
out to Texas. Texas is where Juneteenth came from.
Oh, yeah.
Texas,
Yeah,
shout out to that.
Everything is bigger than Texas apparently, and shout out to Texas was one of the last places to recognize the Emancipation Proclamation, and then Union soldiers rode into Texas and was like, "Listen, everybody's free," and that is where Juneteenth came from. It spread generally from black folks in Texas all across the rest of the country, and it took a long time, but here we are. This is how change happens. They've been celebrating Juneteenth for over 200 years, right?
Yeah.
But now, probably in the last 4 or 5 years, that is social media has been, taken and amplified it. I definitely think it's gone mainstream now. Look at it. We have a whole ass celebration.
All day, yes.
We're off from work. Nike's talking about Juneteenth.
I'm glad you broke down like just how popular it's gotten like in the last couple years. Because honestly, like coming up in high school, like I didn't know anything about
I didn't know
Juneteenth
anything
like
at all.
until the last 2 to 5 years. So like just seeing it being celebrated and just speaking generally, like the fact that kids get to grow up and get to celebrate this every year. But we didn't really get that coming up. So like it's great that they get to learn about that at an early age. They probably just thinking, hey, we get an extra day off school, but like, hey, it's a start. You look up what Juneteenth is all about and celebrate.
And not even like it's like, just to make sure I clarified what you're saying, not even like it's like a knock on somebody's parents or how they like raised or anything like that, but you just literally never see I'm about to say they probably didn't have too many events around them that was celebrating and acknowledging either.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I'm learning. All right.
Go ahead.
Hey, we got
open to all tastes.
Open again. It's a live show. Let's do it.
Live show.
What's up?
Anything can happen on live television, ladies and gentlemen.
Absolutely.
How are you going to?
Come on, you can talk in the mic. You can talk in the mic.
Clap. Come on, everybody. Clap.
How are we going to teach our kids about reparations and Juneteenth when white people don't even want to teach about slavery? They don't want to have this conversation.
That's a good point.
We are getting started with a heavy-handed question. I thought that she would give us like a softball underhand throw. Nah, she just straight up said, all right, here's a fastball for you. 95. Go ahead, Malik. You handle reparations. This is your topic. You grab the mic.
You know I do love reparations.
That's great. How you going to explain it?
I'm gonna explain reparations.
Just how we teach our children about it. I don't have any, but you know my future kids.
How we gonna? I mean, it really boils down to, man, like just being real open. Like we got to start the topic is in school though, because I mean, if you like Darian was saying, like it's not in the textbooks, it's not talked about in our school system. So it's up to us as black folk to put them down, especially when the holidays coming down, and telling them the more history about it. And being really open-minded and asking them questions about it, any confusion, any clear-ups that we need to have about it, and this just really starts with open dialogue. I mean, this obviously right now, the federal holiday is the first step towards having open dialogue. I mean, it's really what it boils down to.
I guess the question would be like, how do we get people that are like different races kind of sort of to like acknowledge the whole reparation perspective? Oh, you had something. Go ahead.
Yeah, so it's two things.
Go ahead.
I'm gonna preface everything I said that I don't have kids, so if I had kids, this is how it would work. Obviously, you have to teach your kids, right, about Juneteenth. Like we live, and I always say this, we live in a world where we have a high-powered computer in our pocket at all times. The information is right there, so there's no excuse to not talk to our kids, talk to our kids' friends, talk to our other white friends, our Indian friends, whatever, about our problems, because it takes, you can only control those around us, right? So I can reach my kids, I can reach my family, I can reach my friends. But the second part of it is we got to make sure the people that represent us are also doing the things we want them to do, right? I was reading an article about a week ago that basically said progressive politicians, they're not doing well in elections, right? Because we still live in a world where, like, even something like Juneteenth or critical race theory is controversial. It's controversial, right? And the way it goes is like the progressive politicians will lose the election, but the mainstream ones, the Joe Bidens, the Terry McAuleys in Virginia, they'll win elections, but they'll take a little bit from the progressive. They'll take from Bernie Sanders, they'll take from Elizabeth Warren, and slowly over time, we got Juneteenth, right? We'll get police reform, whatever. But the thing we have to do is not worry about the slowness. We need to go and put their feet to the fire now, right? Make sure we're doing at the grassroots level for progressive politicians that want to do things to get Juneteenth, to get reparations, all that. Virginia just had a Democratic primary and no progressive one. Like the establishment basically, just ran the whole ticket.
It's just like Maryland's a blue state and my man's couldn't win. I forgot his name. I voted for him though.
It was Anthony Brown, I think.
So like,
not Anthony Brown, he's the other guy. Anthony Brown's a regular lottery guy.
So if we do what we're doing now and keep electing like the mainstream Democrats, we'll get what we want 40 years from now. I'll be dead by then. Everybody, we're mostly dead by then. But we really want to.
28. You may make it to 68.
All right.
I say I want to live, bro. I want to live.
Let me get my point.
I got
You fucking smoke.
Go ahead. I'm sorry. We apologize.
My podcast. Good job. Anyway, if we really want to get what we want, we got to get there, get on the grassroots level, and get the people that are going to do what we want in office. We can't have states like Virginia, Maryland to get the people we want in office. None of them are even within in striking distance of winning primaries. Not even just election, primaries.
That's a good point. And one thing that's happened over the last 2 years or so, like especially starting around like George Floyd and everything like that, I think that lit a fire under a lot of people. We saw like a lot of the biggest protests that we ever saw last year. A lot of people, a lot of young people, a lot of people of all different races are getting like more active, getting more involved. And I think like keeping the pressure on, like sometimes when we get wins like this, like getting the Juneteenth Day, sometimes people get a little comfortable, like, okay, oh yeah, we got it now, we got it. I think we're getting on our way to equality. But like, it's important to keep that pressure on. Important to stay involved. Important to like continue to be a part of the community and have events like this in the middle of DC, where people who might not be aware can come outside and be like, oh, Juneteenth is a good time. It's a positive event. It's nothing bad associated. It's a celebration. It's not like we're still like pissed off at slavery. We're celebrating being free from slavery.
I mean, it's not just black people here. It's everything. It's,
I mean, yeah,
it's a
look
good
at
mix.
us. Look at us, man. Like, I would have never thought something like this.
That was a good time to say, look at it. Who would
Look
have
at
thought
it.
it?
Who would have thought it?
I mean,
Not
Not
me.
me.
Paul Rudd. Shout out to Paul Rudd.
but
That
yeah,
first thing?
but that. I mean, honestly, that's how it is. You teach your kids, like when you have them, make sure they know. Again, you got your phone, you got YouTube. You can learn lots of stuff, but you got to be able to do the work. Do the work to teach and do the work to make the changes that get the people in office that can do the things you want. Get you reparations. We're not going to get reparations. We're not going to get police reform. We sit there and just only vote in the actual elections. Only vote every 4 years. You got to vote at the local level. You got to vote at the state level. At the county level.
Go figure out who your ombudsman is. I don't know if I got the word right.
I don't know what you said.
What's that? What's that?
I think they got him in Chicago. So I don't know, bro. I'm wilding.
I went and voted in the Virginia primary 2 weeks ago, and me and Shanae were the only people in the entire building when we went to go vote. So, I mean,
Your vote mattered,
well, no, my candidate lost, but I mean,
but it mattered. You got her or him to 20% or them.
but no, that's a good point though, because even then, Governor Ralph Northam, he's the outgoing Virginia governor. I mean, last couple of years, he's pushed police reform. He's decriminalized marijuana. He's done a lot of progressive things, and that's strictly because the progressive candidates, whether it's Bernie Sanders, Elizabeth Warren, have slowly been.
They pushed the ticket further left.
But it's like been pushing it further left,
Yeah.
and now even the mainstream Democrats are like, damn, I'm never gonna have to decriminalize weed.
Joe Biden, I was about to say Joe Budden. Joe Biden never would have made Juneteenth a federal holiday 4 years ago.
Yeah,
I don't think anybody would have done
We had a black president for 8 years.
Yeah.
Remember that. No offense to Obama, I'm just saying. Yo, that's what you get out of the Hentations, though. We are the smart podcast. We out here just dropping knowledge out here, bro. You gotta give us our credit. But also,
All right, so we dropped gems of what Juneteenth is. We went over some of the positives of a holiday like this and some of the negatives. So I think it'd be great if we just go around and just say what Juneteenth means to us individually.
Oh yeah, I mean, I think Juneteenth is a celebration. Ever since 1865, it's a celebration of the emancipation of slavery, the darkest point in our history. The fact that we're able to come together in this environment with people that we love, that we know, and not have to worry about being persecuted because of our color of our skin. That's what it means to me. We can go in, we can have this live podcast, we can have beautiful vendors out here, we can have children out here having a good time, and not have to worry about persecution, and no matter where we go. That to me is what Juneteenth means to me.
that was deep and beautiful right there. Go ahead, what you got, Malik?
It's usually me, man. What the hell, man? Taking a bit.
All right. What's yours? Go ahead. You got
Hey, man,
you
so
can one
Aaron
up.
took all my thunder, but I'm gonna try to one up. But Juneteenth for me, man, is just a conglomerate of all our hard work, man. Like Darian said, man, we shouldn't let off the gas, man. Like, this is just the tip of the iceberg for us. I feel like marginalized groups, like African American, black folk, is that when we get the small victories, we're just like, all right, cool. Like, I got a piece of the pie. Like, I'm good.
Let's not make broad generalizations. That's not everybody.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, like, we gotta, continue to springboard this into the next thing, whether it be, like you said, reparations, whether it be reform, whatever this is gonna, whatever shape that's gonna take, we gotta make sure that our voice continues to be heard. I mean, even look at, corporations. I'm sure that everybody that, goes to their job, at some point right now, they've talked about DEI, diversity, equity and inclusion. You know what I mean? That's something that's extremely important, especially in our workplace. We need to feel comfortable in our workplace. We need to feel comfortable to be ourselves, to talk about things that affect us in our life. When we go home, when we close our door, we need to be able to have that safe space, whether it be at work or in our home. So Juneteenth is just a small microcosm of the bigger issue as us coming together as a people.
I was about to say that.
Man, brother.
I was about to say that was good, brother Malik. To add on to what you said, to me, I think Juneteenth is just like a reflection of how long it takes for change to happen. Because if you look at it, the Emancipation Proclamation was in 1863. So Juneteenth is literally 2.5 years after the Emancipation Proclamation was passed. And it kind of just goes to show you how long it takes for things to finally change, because that was literally 2 extra years where you had slaves in Texas and southern states. It didn't have to just be Texas, I imagine, but other states that didn't even know they were free. Or, you know, they need to be told, hey, you're not a slave anymore. Or you can leave, it's done, you don't have to do this. And, you know, even if you look at it, it's kind of like a reminder of like the modern day slavery and things like that. Like we've all seen the 13th documentary about Ava DuVernay and things like that. Just a reminder of the loopholes and the things that exist that can still force our people into servitude and those type of things. So it's just a reminder of how long it takes for change to occur and just like the important things that have happened. But just, we still have so much more that we need to do in order to make the society that so many people want to see.
Yeah, and I will say, as far as hard to say, like, there's nothing wrong with being able to look and see how far things have come, and just for a second be like, damn, things have come.
It's progress.
Yeah, but progress. You can recognize progress, and at the same time be like, there's still a long way to go. Right?
Yeah.
I feel like sometimes, people are just like, oh, we got Juneteenth, but it's okay to sit there and got Juneteenth. We getting police reform in some states. Defunding police is happening in some states. We can see all that. We can see all that and say, all right, this is where we are. This is a good spot. Let's take a second here and just, okay, this is good. Put our stake in the ground and then recognize we still got 40, 50, 60 yards to go. Right? I just want to say that because sometimes I feel like we can't even.
We don't acknowledge the first and 10. We're looking for touchdowns.
Yeah, there you go.
That was actually very nicely put, because like just going adding up that, y'all pretty much summed it up well. But like, it's important to just take minutes like this to celebrate. Just take a brief pause, like with anything, like when you're exerting yourself, like whether it's protests, whether it's just waking up, looking on Instagram or social media and seeing about all the things that's going on with Black people. Just taking a minute to whether that's relaxing, whether that's just playing games, whether that's eating your favorite food, whatever it is, just take a minute to celebrate and enjoy these moments, these highlights, because it's important in the long run, and it's important for an endurance standpoint, because we all get burnt out anytime. It was getting to a point where every time you turned on the phone, like you saw something negative. So like it's important to celebrate. Yeah, 2020 was tough. 2020 was tough. We hit from all angles, man. It was crazy. But like, just taking times like these, just to celebrate, be around family, be around friends, be around good friends, by the way. That's a whole nother episode. But yes, be around friends and just enjoy life, man. So Juneteenth is really just, to me, is about just a celebration of Black people, just how far we come, and just giving, like, just a water break for us, right? We just take a water break, take a breath, so we can keep it going, keep it pushing.
Yo, but I mean, I'm about to say, he got backup. Yo, but even in regards to that, I guess the next question kind of becomes like, we look at it and we like, yo, Juneteenth has become like the measuring stick. We're looking at how far we've come and how much further we have to go. Juneteenth is like first and 10, kind of, sort of, where you're like, all right, cool, first and 10 from the 30-yard line. We almost there. I don't know if it's 30 minutes to 45, but that's not the point right now. But just in general, like, how do you also feel about, like, if you think about Juneteenth, like, all right, cool, over the last 2 years, we've seen Juneteenth become more of a thing. Like, I feel like more people that I know started talking about Juneteenth, like, not to say that it hasn't always mattered, but it's like, more people in the mainstream, more people you may know, have talked about it more, like, starting last year and continuing into this year. So how do you feel about it becoming, like, more awareness going towards the holiday? How do you feel about it? Do you feel like, like, oh, all right, cool, it's great that people are observing and seeing what's happening? Or do you kind of see like, oh, okay, like, if you think about it in terms of like it becoming a federal holiday, it's like, another platitude, I didn't ask for this, I asked for more. How do y'all feel about that?
I mean, we can do two things at once, right? We can enjoy this is good, this is celebrate. There's a lot of people who didn't know what Juneteenth was until this week that know what it is now, and that's progress alone. Right, and like I said, we can take that and also realize, like I said earlier, there's plenty of other things that we need to get done. Like we can do two things, so we can walk and chew gum at the same time, I guess, is my point, right?
Yeah, it's a good time.
I mean, I think the biggest thing is sometimes like we get caught up in like, cause I talked about DEI, but at the same time, like, we go from here, we gotta make sure we don't turn this into like a performative allyship in a way. Like, I mean, I'm just,
I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm actually disagreeing with you. Okay.
It's tough, man, because like you get on social media and you'll see things like, Sail for Freedom Day and sale for, you got watermelon that's, on the Food Network and stuff like that.
What? God is dope website got like a Juneteenth sale going on, but I'm,
you know what I mean?
For what you said about
like
Food Channel.
Yeah, the Food Channel got, there's grill marks on watermelon, man. Like what?
That's America though, right? That's that's a minor thing, right? Like America is a capitalist society. They're gonna capitalize whatever. I'm more concerned in the fact that people know what Juneteenth is. If somebody gonna get a Fashion Nova discount 50% for it, whatever, y'all can do that. That's cool. As long as Juneteenth is something that is being talked about in the Washington Post with op-eds and that, and the New York Times, it's on CNN, it's on Fox News, whatever.
What about a Freedom Day jumpsuit?
Freedom Day, if that's what you want to do,
50% off of Fashion Nova.
I hope you're black owned if you're doing it. I'll leave it at that.
You got a Juneteenth 19% discount on Fashion Nova items, probably.
Why the 19%?
Because it's on June 19th.
That makes sense.
That makes sense.
I was very killed by a joke. All right, that's fine. Go ahead, Darren. You got something?
No, nothing that wasn't already said for real. I mean, just trying to end it on a positive note, just on the celebration and everybody being here and just bringing it back to food. If we have if you only had one food to celebrate Juneteenth, what would that food be?
Fried chicken.
Fried chicken?
And it's not even being sterile. That's my favorite food.
With waffles?
Fried chicken and waffles?
Malik, you know me very well. Every time I go to brunch, what do I get?
Fried chicken and waffles.
All right,
It
so
might be
you have
jalapeno waffles, or they might be regular
And
waffles.
usually they got jalapeno syrup too. I like a kick. Go ahead, Aaron. What would be your Juneteenth food?
All right, I wasn't ready for that one, but macaroni and cheese. We talked about it earlier, right? That's my favorite, black soul food.
And to be fair, back when the slaves made fried chicken, it stayed heated longer. That's why they did it.
All right, thank you for our sociologists over here. That's
I'm gonna go, man. I'm gonna give mine some great collard greens.
It'd be cold as hell after the first 2 hours. Oh wait, we're not thinking. Oh, I am completely off. Don't worry about what we just said. Anyway, go ahead. You go ahead.
My favorite, I'm gonna give dessert. So I didn't know until I watched that How in the Hog documentary that red velvet cake was actually something that originated out of that. I don't know if it came out of DC, but that is one of the foods they use to celebrate Juneteenth. And they usually like to stick the color, red color food, because that showed all the blood that was shed and all that. But anyway, aside from that, I love me some red velvet cake, and that definitely takes the cake. So.
I was about to say, man, where did the cream cheese icing come from? What is that symbolize?
All right, guys. So thank you for coming out for Hentations Live podcast. Again, it's just four bros. We
Definitely appreciate it.
Like I said, we've been doing this podcast for about 3 years now. Hentations, Hentations.
Oh, look at the shirt.
Apple Music, Apple Podcasts, SoundCloud, Spotify, YouTube. Subscribe to our YouTube. We drop bi-weekly. Every episode, you can get a podcast form, you can get the video on YouTube. Go do that. Go visit our table. We have nice knickknacks for you to pick up.
The biggest 10 on the block.
I'm about to say, you'll see it from space.
Sorry, we taking up space.
Taking up all the space, man. We got buttons too.
Oh yeah, and if you want to follow us on social media, that is at Hentations, Hentations, and there's an underscore underneath after the S. Gotta make sure you put an underscore in there. It's very important.
Right, so we drop on Wednesdays at 8 a.m. So be on the lookout for that. Subscribe, hit us up on social media. We put polls on the social media. Our future episodes, we talk about everything. We don't just talk about heavy stuff. Sometimes we talk about music. Sometimes we talk about sports. We try to talk about anything.
Relationships, life, you name it, we've probably talked about it.
Like this podcast came from four bros riding around in Ubers at 3 a.m. having great conversations, and we just started.
Or so the 11 p.m. conversation. 3 a.m. went to sleep.
I'm about to say, yeah. I was sleeping in the back.
I had to make sure I clarify.
You got this man. All the people talking about us.
You do.
All right, so for Hentations, episode 75, Juneteenth live show spectacular. It's your man, Shut Up Cole.
Your man's Unruly DW here.
It's your boy Malik, aka That Be Geekin' Lee.
And it's your boy Darian, aka Clark Kent, and these are the Hentations.
It don't really matter what you do.